Yeah, man. Back, man. It's another week, man. How y'all doing? It finally done cooled down in the city. I had to make me some drawers out of screen door material. It was so hot, man.
Too hot.
Too hot.
Too hot.
Two consecutive of too hot.
Too hot. I'm ready for fall.
I like that good, man, between like 77 and like 58. Or you can put on a hoodie if you want.
Okay.
It's just comfortable. You sit in your hoodie and you just sit back and you're like, oh man, it feels so good.
Man, I got so much wood in my trunk right now for my bonfires. Like I'm trying to stack because I'm gonna do bonfires every day in the fall.
Hey, be careful, man. Don't burn them too close to your house.
You don't burn bonfires?
Not in the city where you live at.
I live in Mount Healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't be pulling up to you. Springy don't be pulling
I have
up.
2 fire pits that burn at the
Really?
same time. What they gonna say?
You under arrest?
Negative.
Yeah. Come in just a little bit so we can get you more in the frame. All right, that should be cool. But yeah, man, we got a special guest this week. This is the Type Shit Podcast, man. We also we moving and grooving on 91.7 WVXU FM. Check us every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And make sure you check us out at the crib, sixcentsmedia.com. That's SIXXSENSEMEDIA. sixcentsmedia.com is where you can get all this nice merch, man. Type shit.
Start doing
Hey, yeah. That's how I met you. I was out doing my thing at these barbershops and these salons promoting. And did I do my song?
No.
I ain't get to do my song because when it be kids around, I had to learn like, oh, you can't do that.
I ain't get the song. I got the shirt. I ain't get the song,
But
no.
we gonna do the song right now, then, man. Here, I'm about to start doing this I did this last show too, man. We just about to start doing it every show then. So we're gonna get into this song right now. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
If you know the words, sing along. If you want to dance, you know. The owl belongs to you, like John P. Key would say. Okay, here we go. Hey yo, dress to impress type shit. Ignore the text from your ex type shit. Put it on now, you look fresh type shit. You look your best, you feel your best type shit. Come on, got some bad kids type shit. Then this the shirt that you should whoop them in type shit. Hey, another day, another dollar. I know you say it, so just holler. Come on, type shit. Type shit. Just call and response, girl. Type shit. Type shit.
Type shit.
A type shit.
Type shit.
A type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit.
A type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit.
Type shit. Type shit. Oh, yeah. Type shit, man.
Hell yeah.
6 Cents Media.
I love it.
Won't you come? Won't you come? Woo! Cut it off, DJ. All right, man. So we back. Now that we got that out the way, I don't like how tall you look next to me on camera.
I'm a tall lady.
How come you sitting up higher than me? It ain't because of your shoes got heels on it.
No.
We sitting down.
That's my arch.
You got a lower thoracic area, maybe. But yeah, man, introduce yourself.
I am Mistress UrbanKinkster of UrbanKinkster.com. My government name, in case y'all forget, is Erica. So everybody call me Mistress. That's what it is. Or Urban. I take some of that.
So where you from?
I am from Chicago, Illinois. I've been here in Cincinnati about 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from the Chi-Town. I'm born on the west side of Chicago, south side, and I love my city. I love my city, but I like the city too.
What's your favorite thing about Chicago?
Oh man, you know what? Since I've moved here, it's changed. My favorite thing about Chicago has got to be the social atmosphere of Chicago. Like the different melting pots that we have in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's just social. Like everything is food, dance, and music and cooking. You know.
What's your favorite restaurant up there? What would we check out?
Favorite restaurant? Oh, I like so much food. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Go to Pete's Italian Beef, and I say that because I love Italian beef. It's one of my favorite foods. So Pete's Italian Beef on the south side of Chicago. Order you a combo or Italian beef. Yeah, I said.
I know I gotta ask for everybody out there. You ain't from 63rd, are you?
You asked me that. I am not from 63rd Street.
Okay.
I know where 63rd Street is. I haven't seen somebody get knocked out on 63rd Street, but I am not from the 63.
So that's just what it is on 63rd.
Man, sometimes you just gotta know when to be quiet and just walk with your head down.
How was that as a kid growing up out there?
As a kid growing up in Chicago, I can honestly say it was probably one of the best experiences that I had because it geared me up for life. Mm-hmm. Being in Chicago, there are certain things that you develop. It's survival instincts, and really understanding the culture of Chicago, which is more like a Southern culture. A lot of people don't realize that we're a Southern culture.
A lot of people coming from Alabama and Mississippi and stuff up there.
Exactly. A lot of people are coming from those Southern states. And so Chicago, for me, was where I learned what family really was and what community involvement really was, because that's how I grew up. So growing up in Chicago was absolutely amazing for me because I got a chance to really figure out who I was and to be an individual. And it was encouraged.
How did the gang culture impact you? How was it when you were growing up?
The gang culture was huge. Like, I'm not gonna lie, gang culture was huge. You just had to know where gangs were, what streets they covered. I've had kids. I mean, as a teenager growing up, I've actually had friends chased and killed in rival gang territory. I've had, just people just die. I mean, even my daughter, I have a daughter who's 24, and we've lost half of her high school class to just senseless murders and things like that.
You being from there, what do you think is the issue and what do you think is the solution?
The issue is the lack of resources. It's the lack of resources and a lack of hope. Combined with those two, it's a problem. Yeah. You need to know, the politicians, I feel like they need to step up more. And, we know what the Chicago past looked like. It's the city of Capone, and it reigns true for our politicians. I haven't seen a whole lot of movement. Again, I'm not there anymore. But I see when I go there and I see the 99 body counts and things like that, you got to wonder, what it is that they're doing. The solution is world awareness, honestly, getting the world aware and some type of intervention. Because the worst thing that they could have ever did is put all of our gang members, the head of our gang members, in jail. Yeah. It was divide and conquer, for real.
That was the only thing that was like the discipline to it.
It was the discipline. Yeah. They were the head. The COINTELPRO like to paint a picture of, us being animals. Mm-hmm. But if you lived in it and you were amongst the El Rukins and things like that, they weren't killing kids or parents or anything like that. In order to even get into the buildings, you had to have good grades. Mm-hmm. They followed up on things like that. You wasn't cursing and disrespecting elders. Like, that's not something that was a culture until they locked up the heads. Yeah. And so when you cut the body off of a head, you basically poison the meat. Yeah. So that's what happened.
Definitely. You think it's by design?
It is by design. It's absolutely by design. But again, Chicago by design is a criminalistic place. Mm-hmm. The city of Capone, they're still digging up bodies from those times. Yeah. And so it just has like that negative connotation. I don't like the connotation Chirac because just as much good as Chicago has, it has bad. Yeah. But I mean, I'm from there and I'm dope. Yeah. So, and I know a lot of dope, amazing people from Chicago, and I just want people to really get out there and like educate and help in these communities.
You leaving, do you think that had a part of you like saving your own life or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what I left because I wanted my children to experience what it was like to grow up in a slower atmosphere, like what it's like to ride your bike in the street or to walk to the corner store and I don't have to worry about a stray gunshot, a bullet. you know, after I moved from my home in Chicago, there were like stray bullet rounds up in the high windows. And so you just can never tell what's going to go on. I don't want to talk to a drug dealer about moving off of my porch. I don't want to deal with any of that, you know?
It's crazy, man. The only, like, Lil Rel, you know him?
Yes.
From there?
Yes.
He make it sound funny, but I know it's serious, man. The Pelly Pelly joke.
Uh-oh.
Where they made his dad sell drugs.
Oh,
You ain't never seen that?
No.
Hey, man. He tell this joke about how his dad, somebody was sitting on his car. He went to go kick him off his car, and he came back up to his wife. He had on a Pelly Pelly jacket. He was like, he said, I'm in a gang now, and I didn't even want to be. They're making me sell these drugs. And why is this Pelly so heavy?
Oh, man, that was a heavy coat.
Bro,
heavy coat.
But you was that guy. If you had spent down here, if you was 17 in high school and had a Pelly Pelly coat, you was that guy, man.
Man, look. I mean, it is what it is. But you again understand and the awareness.
Yeah.
Figure out who you are. Can't nobody force you into nothing for a long periods of time that you don't want.
Yeah.
Or don't adapt to. I mean, because at the end of the day, when people start seeing that money, they're like, yeah, well, I didn't really want this kind of life for myself, but.
What you think about Kanye since you from the shop, man? Come on, man. Don't do Ye like that, man.
Okay, real shit. Like, Ye, I respect Ye. Real, you know, from where he started, he took his art and his talent and his creativity and he did what he wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
Most creators are not sane.
Right.
Let's just be honest. Most creators have things that they're dealing with. Look at the Marvin Gayes and the Jimi Hendrix and the Robin Williams. There are no creators that I know that are completely sane. So they kind of go on their own paths. And it's up to you whether or not you want to support that path. But Ye doing what he doing. I don't know what happened with the burning of the church and setting the self on fire at the last performance. Not aware of that. Did not attend that performance.
I didn't hear about that part. There's so much that come along with them shows, man. Yes.
So I don't know what he was thinking, but his music, hands down, I will support his music as long as he continues to be a genius. I am a person who enjoys skills and trades. Yeah. If you are creative and you're good at what you're doing, your business is your business, and that is personal. I don't have to support that. But your creativity, I might need that to spark something in me.
Yeah. Definitely, man. I definitely think Ye is a genius, man.
Ooh, he's Yay.
We're going to get into what you do, man. You say your name is UrbanKinkster. I really want you to kind of like, I'm going to push us along with different bullet points, but okay. I want you to describe what you do.
What I do is I control the lives of other people. That's my PG-13 way of saying what it is I do. I'm Mistress UrbanKinkster, and what I do is I get paid to travel and educate people on BDSM kink. And what that is I'll break it down for you. Kink is a non-normative way to receive pleasure. So basically, most of the things that people do anyway, biting, choking, hair pulling, things like that, I go and tell people exactly what it is and how it makes you feel and why it makes you feel that way.
You kind of like a sex therapist.
Exactly. So yeah. I'm a BDSM educator, and I think it's important because instead of allowing people to paint a picture of what it is that we do, I go back out and I repaint that picture. Because if it was up to the people in the history, I mean, every time they show us, we're getting beat, we're getting slapped, all of these things. And what I do is I approach it from an educational standpoint. But for the most part, I'm a mistress. I'm a dominatrix. I beat people lovingly.
When was your first introduction to BDSM?
So my first introduction to BDSM was maybe about 10, 11 years ago. And I was in, I want to say, the swinging lifestyle. The swinging lifestyle was not necessarily for me because, number one, I'm an introvert. I don't like to be touched. But I enjoy dressing up. I enjoy like the high sexual overtones of that environment. Because people are literally in this environment. People think, oh my God, these people are in a space. Everybody's swapping and it's nasty. For me, it's a social atmosphere because I get to wear what I want. I get to see people in their atmosphere. If they're having sex or not. But at least people I can identify with in the same space. And so that's kind of where I began. And I realized that swinging wasn't necessarily for me, but I do like that atmosphere. So BDSM was a little bit more interesting for me because it entailed a lot of education and a lot of formalities and consent. Consent, nothing is done without consent. And so that's why it was important to me. But for me, BDSM was really about being able to play some of the roles that I enjoy playing.
What roles, like, describe it?
One of the roles that I enjoy playing is, so I'm a nurturer. And with me being a dominant, and I'm a dominant female, I bring people in who might need assistance, who might not have family, might have family, but ultimately identify with me and be able to help them along in life, almost like a life coach. Almost like a life coach, but also being able to help exercise these non-normative kinks that they have. For instance, we have people who enjoy being baby girls, but taking this to a level where a grown woman, such as myself, will actually dress up in pigtails and skirts and thigh highs, and it's better received in an environment where everybody understands what's going on.
Yeah.
And so that's what I do. I walk around and I make sure that people understand that 50 Shades of Grey was more of like a romance movie for people wanting to, I guess, add spice to their relationships or whatever, but to also add the awareness to it.
You in a relationship now?
Yes.
How do you do that? Being in a relationship and doing what you do.
So I am polyamorous, and that's another one of my lifestyles. So I date multiple people, have multiple loving relationships. I've been polyamorous for about 15 years. I had a wife for 13 years. I have a gentleman that I've been dating for 6 years, and it works really well. What I do is I adapt to partners who understand my lifestyle and relate to it.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. Yeah, you have to get to know and vet who it is that you're interested in. Because I think too many people fall into and settle for relationships because they're available and not necessarily what it is that they're looking for.
Yeah, there are a lot of people running from themselves. You don't want to do some type of maybe shadow work. So you're looking for a good distraction, a sexy distraction.
Exactly. They're looking for something to just kind of to get away from, their lifestyles. And to be honest, I don't encourage entertaining any lifestyle if you don't know who you are. Definitely. Explain why and how you came to that conclusion. In coaching, and so my background is criminal justice and human resources, and I got some social work in there. Understanding self is important because then you get to understand why it is that you're comfortable and looking for the things that you're looking for. And how better to express what it is that you're looking for to another person when you've already done the research. You've already done, like you said, the shadow work. You've already done the development to understand, who you are and be comfortable with that. Again, I tell people, you shouldn't be doing anything that you are ashamed to do.
Right.
Period. So if you're comfortable with yourself, you know how you receive love, you know how, what it is that you're interested in, and you can articulate that, then, by all means go for it. But if you're just out here dabbling and trying to experience things, then you can get yourself in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because people will take advantage of that in any lifestyle.
So what did you do to get to that point where you got to know yourself? What was that journey like?
For me, I knew myself early. I've been this way since my early 20s, to be honest. Like I'm very confident. I don't think that I'm extremely egotistical, but I wanted to get some of that back end work out of the way early. I wanted to figure out who I was. And for me, it's really about understanding what your childhood looked like. Do you have triggers? Do you suffer from, different types of mental illness that you need to communicate to other people? And have you done the clinical work to make sure that you're stable? Making sure that you're stable financially. I mean, going out partying and participating in all these things, like I tell people, you shouldn't even be dating if you ain't got no money.
Right.
How you dating if you ain't got no money?
You bringing somebody into your poverty, man. Nobody want to experience you at that level, really. You really don't want to experience you at that level. So it's like a lot of people running away from themselves with these relationships, man. It's like, but you ain't gonna be able to escape it because once that person is hip to what you're doing, they gonna leave and it's going to be a cycle. It's
going to be what you're doing is you're spilling your toxicity on people who actually might be good for you, but you're just not ready to deal with that individual because you haven't done the self-work.
Yeah.
And so you're basically creating a trail of toxicity. So by the time you've done your work, nobody trusts you. Nobody wants to be around you. Everybody's kind of looking at you sideways.
Yeah.
So, I tell people, everybody wants to feel loved. Everybody wants to be wanted. But stop and think for a moment. Have you really done the self-work to bring somebody into your space?
Yeah. I done heard somebody say, do you deserve what you even want?
Can you handle what it is that you want?
Yeah. That's a reason. That's another reason why you might not have what you think you want.
Exactly.
You can't even handle it. That's interesting. So, I want you to go down what the different kinks are.
Ooh, so
unless it's that long.
There are well over 300 kinks. Yeah. Well over 300 kinks. There are like some very basic ones that I like to point out that people are not aware that they're kinks.
Okay.
So we're talking about sensory play. Sensory play is, you ever
That's
see
the thing with the
No.
The roller. I seen you had like a spike roller.
So that is part of sensory play. But just to bring it back to like bedroom 101, not to scare people. Sensory play is really taking your time to examine the skin and be playful with it, like using the feathers, really rubbing and getting the skin sensitive, and then using different mediums to satisfy your partner.
Yeah.
So blindfolding and getting some good rubbing in and using different types of mediums, or like you said, I have spiky things. You can use spiky things or smooth things or things that tickle or things that are hot, things that are cold. It's really a type of foreplay that you can incorporate. So that's sensory play, when you're really tantalizing the senses.
It's like ASMR before ASMR was ASMR. Because it's sensory stuff. Like, you know what ASMR is, right?
No.
It's like people get bubble wrap and they go to a real sensitive mic and just pop the bubble wrap. Some people like find that satisfying, or cutting something perfectly in half and then cutting that in perfectly in half. Like, okay, I'm getting a better understanding now, because at first I was just like, man, why everything look like it hurt so bad, man?
Because you have to know, again, I'm a trained professional in BDSM because I literally take the time to identify, touch all my tools. I've used all my tools on me. Someone who is completely new, I can take, and I won't scare them, but I can do these things to them, and they will walk away with a different experience, because you have to be able to deal with people who are newbies and people who are very experienced. Like for the newbies, I probably would never use that spiky thing on them, because I have one that's real thin, and then I have one that's thick. The thick one is probably one that you saw, because I posted that one recently. So just knowing what it is that you're using. The other big thing in BDSM right now, and for Bedroom 101, is bondage. A lot of people don't even realize they're into bondage, but if you want to get tied up, if you want to use handcuffs, if you want to be, well, this might be a little extreme, but I don't think y'all do this on this side. People use plastic wrap. People want a plastic wrap. It's a quick way to bond someone instead of using handcuffs. If you don't have handcuffs, you can use cling wrap and wrap somebody's ankles. So things like that.
Barbed wire, man.
Whoa, wait a minute, hard limit. There's no barbed wire.
Just roll yourself up in barbed wire, man.
No.
That's sensory right there.
That's supreme sensory.
Supreme sensory, man.
No.
Or some other ones that people might not know are.
Some other ones that people might not know, well, they do know, which would be impact play. And impact play is really something hitting the skin. And that can be anything from a hand to a paddle to whips, whatever that is. So a lot of women enjoy spankings, but a lot of men, I find, like spanking in the midst of sex.
Themselves or somebody else?
Someone else. Think about that. Like, how many times have you actually slapped an ass, like, in the middle of, like, sex?
Yeah. And you're like, why did I do that?
Why did you do that?
I think it's something you just see on TV a lot.
So I actually teach professional spanking classes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
Where can people find your classes at? How can they book with you?
So if you want to book with me, I have my own website. I'm UrbanKinkster.com. And you can go in there. You can look at the services that I offer. Some of the services that I offer is disciplinary services. So as a couple, you know, we're having issues. We can't get past these goals. My wife is the reason why we can't do this. So can you come over? We're going to set some goals. And then, you know, next Friday, I'm going to come and check on these goals and see how these goals look. And if these goals aren't, then we got some discipline. And for me, I'm a disciplinarian. That could look, it can look corporal. It can look public. It can look whatever it is within the confines of what we've negotiated. So once I sit down and we have that initial conversation and I say, I'm going to come and check on you. Yeah. In a week, if you ain't did what you were supposed to do, I'm going to spank you.
They're not going to do what they're supposed to do then. If that's what they want you to do.
Some actually are serious. Some people really do need that push. Like I've seen that some people really do need that discipline in order to like get over certain humps or to like relieve anxiety.
Yeah, I can see that. It's like getting a trainer or something like that.
Exactly.
Like, I know I'm not going to work out, man. Please just tell me to do push-ups.
But if I do certain things to you, there's a good chance you're going to second guess trying to not achieve that again.
That's interesting, man.
Because again, I can make it feel good, but I can also make it feel very painful.
So people out here real live want to get adult spankings for being disciplined.
Absolutely.
Really want discipline out of this. It's not nothing sexual sometimes?
No.
Sometimes it's real discipline.
BDSM is not necessarily a sexual lifestyle. Yes.
It looked too painful, some of the stuff to even be like arousing.
And that's because it's perception. It's perception. Like I have videos that I can show you off of here that you'll get a chance to see like an actual spanking and you'll see like how seductive it is. Or like if I do like a choking scene can be very intimate because literally like when I'm doing a choking scene, I get very close with somebody and I'm usually face to face and I, you know, studying their face and it becomes very intimate. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, painful.
Choking. The choking. What is what do you get? Can you give like some background? Like what do you think people get out of that? What do you get out of that?
Sure.
Do you do it hard? Because in my mind, I'm like, man, they trying to set you up to call the police on you, man. Don't choke her, please, bruh. Do not do it, bruh. I like to be choked and then call the police. It's role play. Like, no, bruh, don't do it.
Choking, also known as asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Yes, I do choke hard. And what the endorphins that come as a result of my hand being released from around your neck because your blood's starting to shoot, your blood's starting to go back to your body and it's starting to, and the endorphins, especially if you're a masochist, someone who enjoys pain. A masochist is someone who enjoys pain. If you're that person, then chances are you've asked to be choked because you've expressed that it does turn you on, or it can be a disciplinary tool. But also knowing how far to go with it, because in BDSM I had to learn anatomy. You know, I can't just choke somebody and think it's going to be okay. What if this person has heart problems? Yeah, I have to ask these questions. Like, you know, before I even put my hands on somebody, there's a 30-minute conversation I need to have to make sure that I can even put my hands on you, because you really might not be in the right mindset to do this.
Yeah, like, you ever have, like, that be like somebody roll up in a wheelchair with a track, like, choke me, but don't cover my hole. Please don't cover my hole.
Pineapples, I can't touch you. I'm not doing that.
Jesus, man. Just stick your thumb in a hole, man. That's how you do the choke?
Nope. I'm going to hit them in it. No, see? We're not doing that.
So how, like, in 2020, when it's like, everything is so sensitive, how do you vet these people? Because you have like for real I don't want to call it a festival, but you have these like events, and everybody might not be right, like you just said, mentally.
Exactly. Some
people, man, is a liability there. Well, like, how do you vet people? Insurance? Because the reason I had her on is because we interview entrepreneurs about what they do. This is how she makes a living. Right. So I wanted to start talking to people with more niche based like entrepreneur jobs, stuff like that. So like, what do you do about that? All
right. So in Kink BDSM, here's some things that we have to do to cover ourselves. So what's the first question you want me to answer?
How do you vet these people?
Vetting is very important, and I'm glad that you used the word vetting because that's exactly what we call it. We call it vetting. You literally have to get to know someone. You ask very, very specific questions about their mental illness, what their interests are. One of the first questions I ask people who want to vet me is, what attracts you to this lifestyle? Because if it's just a place for you to escape, I probably will not touch you.
Yeah.
Because getting you back to reality is going to be a problem. It takes a lot longer for someone to get back into the groove of things when they feel like this is just a mind dump or a place to escape.
That's back to that knowing who you are to even put yourself in this situation.
So that's, extremely important. Do you know what your triggers are? I don't want to put you across my lap and spank you if you had issues with your father spanking you. And when people contact me about getting to know me as a mistress, I do explain to them that they have to send me a formal vetting petition. Like, you have to email me and let me know that you're interested in starting that conversation and getting to know me. Because I start a paper trail. Because even though none of our papers will hold up in a court, I still want to be able to identify that this person is coming on their own recognizance and they're seeking me out to do these things. And so once that happens, I figure out why it is that they're seeking me out. Most times, you've seen my Instagram. That's why they're seeking me out, because of my Instagram and my popularity and the things that, I travel to do. And I want to make sure that they're not also seeking me out because of my name. Like, you really should do your research to figure out who it is that you're seeking out, because I'm considered a sadist. And a sadist is someone who enjoys delivering pain. I'm a trained sadist. I enjoy what I'm doing. But for someone who is not into pain, you probably should be very careful about vetting me, because that might happen. And so just asking those proper questions. And that's why it's important for me to be versed in what I'm doing, because I can kind of spot the people who are very new.
What happened? Because I know somebody done slid through on you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, tell me about one of them times.
Oh, man, I had my first, I want to say one of my first submissive, also from Chicago, had a great dynamic. The vetting went well. But there's three stages in BDSM and getting to know someone. So there's vetting. And after the vetting process, there's what's called consideration, which means I do want you to stay around me. Because a lot of times it's not just pickup play. It's not just we're going to play and this is going to be it. A lot of times it's we're going to play and this is going to be a continuous relationship. Because you don't want people constantly putting their hands on you and getting to know people, because this is, it's a serious thing. So vetting, consideration, and then ownership, which means this person basically is a priority to me. I'm taking care of this person. And not like financially or anything like that, but I'm basically
you're a social worker out here.
Yeah, basically, I'm mentoring this person. I'm making sure that if this person goes to events, that this person is playing safe. I know who this person is playing with if I'm not there. Things like that. Yeah, it's a leadership role. It just is. So, a lot of people like to highlight a lot of the things that we're doing, but the back end work is probably 80 to 85% of Kink. Where we're managing lives and we're doing community service and we're traveling and we're doing all of these things to make sure that there's a balance in our lifestyle. But yeah, you can see the people coming a mile away. I have definitely gotten S types that were not very well versed and they wanted something romantic with me, and that's not necessarily what I want. For me, I enjoy submissives because I get service. Service means they're basically doing things for me. So a good example, how a butler treats his household.
So you don't want these people never get to touch you?
I don't really want, it's not necessary for me to be touched in that way. Like I'm basically the leader or the guidance person for them. And so a lot of times if you immerse yourself too deeply, the lines can become crossed. And me, I'm very, very serious about getting things done. I have a business, I have a 9-to-5, I have a household, I travel. I do 24 trips a year, for God's sakes. I don't have time for, not getting things done.
All right, we're going to get more into that. I got this game I'm playing on the show. It's called In My Bag. Yeah, I know how I do with the bag, man. It's rarely here. But these are the questions that are in the bag. I want you to just go ahead and pick a random question. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
I saw that snippet of the last show.
I think I'm taking it easy on you today, man.
Okay. Ooh, I love that.
There might be some people mad at me how easy I take it on you.
I mean, you can ad-lib and give me something ignorant. It's all right. But for this one, what's more important, being a servant or self-love? I would have to say self-love. Because even if you are a servant, if you have no self-love, you don't serve properly. I have servants, and that's one of the things, like, if you don't know who you are and why you're passionate about serving me, then you can't serve me, because you don't know why you're here. And basically, I'm going to be hand-holding the entire time.
It's crazy how accountability works its way into everything in life.
Yes.
Like, and if you don't have it, it ruin it. Ruin a lot of stuff.
It ruins everything. Lack of accountability ruins everything.
You think that's how do you think lack of accountability is playing into relationships today?
Lack of accountability, because people don't want to take accountability for being conditioned how they grew up. You know, they try and find traditionalism based on how they grew up, because they want to be perceived a certain way by their families. And that's not necessarily being accountable for who you are. That's who your parents were. That's how you grew up. But people become miserable because they're celebrating and they're living in a life that they truly don't understand, that they can't identify with. Yeah. For me, I grew up in traditionalism. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. My grandparents were Baptists from the South. All of these things. We celebrated Christmas hardcore, Thanksgiving. All of these things were happening. But that's not what I do today. I don't do that today, because it doesn't mean what it meant when they were trying to teach it to me as a child. I'm accountable for the lack of education that I received. And so in order to be accountable, I made sure not only that I educated myself, but I basically reinvented like my holidays and things, so that I'm accountable for being in those spaces and understanding why I'm celebrating them. Accountability. Yeah. You know, I don't know.
Man, like, a lot of people don't want to be like, I'm the one, I play a part in my own unhappiness. I feel like that got a good deal to do with the distractions that we use, the relationships we get in, the presence in the relationship, accountability, period, man. It's just interesting that everything pretty much go back to a few small little
Exactly.
little
I
things.
mean, I think that everybody fights to want to feel special. And that's why people go after these relationships, because they want to feel a certain kind of way. But, you know, you're chasing something that doesn't necessarily make you feel good. You know, you're chasing a feeling, but it doesn't necessarily feel good. You know, that's why people, you know, stay in toxic relationships. But again, like you said, that self-love and that accountability, if you realize, you know, how you receive love and why you're pursuing a relationship in the first place, what is it that this person has to offer you? Like, why?
Yeah, why?
Ask yourselves the whys.
Yeah.
Why am I pursuing this specific person? What does this person have to offer?
I feel like that's when people do stuff even faster. Like my version of it is, like, you ever be halfway through a cheeseburger and you be like, man, I shouldn't even be eating this. So you swallow the rest of it like Garfield.
Guilt.
You like, man, let me hurry up for it fully sink in, and I ain't supposed to be doing this, man.
That accountability. Yeah.
So and then that's the type of thing where you might start like a relationship prematurely, just because you like, I need to not
be alone,
be face to face with me.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Man,
it's crazy.
It's funny because I dealt with that a couple of times in dating, because I'm used to dating in Chicago. I have not been successful dating in Cincinnati because I am so self-aware that I think I scare people. I do. Because I'm a handful.
Say that one more time.
I feel like I'm so self-aware. I scare people because I'm a handful. And I'm not a handful in a way where I'm spoiled or anything like that, but I know exactly who I am. Yeah. I'm confident. I don't need you to fix me up. I don't need you to build me. I have my own things. I want to enjoy the companionship of someone else. But how can you do that if people don't know who they are?
I think even if people don't know what to call it, just when they come in contact with you, look in your eyes, they might see that, oh, this person, I can't bullshit with this person. Or so, like, I won't be able to play my victim role to this person. I won't be able to maneuver how it's going to make me uncomfortable being around them, because I'm going to have to change something around me. And we program to not put ourselves in jeopardizing situations, to keep ourselves safe. So then you gravitate towards people who can't help you elevate.
Right.
And then you get caught in that cycle of wanting to elevate but refusing to change. And
you got the best hand there.
The vibration is way more visible than the aesthetic, the physical.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people probably see in you sometimes. Like, man, I'm not to that level yet, man. Who gonna baby me?
Exactly.
That's why
Yep.
a lot of my reasons are around like how do you make sure how you tame these energies that's around you in this sexual environment, because it's a real like it's a shaky place, especially now.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that, man, like, hey man, hold up, you good? You all right, bruh? Because you tweaking. Like, you ain't about to ruin me.
I don't do that. I actually had to. So I'm polyamorous, and I use different terms. So I became unnested. When you nest with someone, that means you're living together. I became intentionally unnested so that I can hold my partner accountable for their stuff and hold myself accountable. Because as I was growing up, I understand where my parents fell short. And people are like, oh man, my parents wasn't nothing. They did. Your parents did what they knew to do because they were individuals like us. And so I tend to like to stop that toxicity.
We dehumanize our parents.
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't really sit back and be like, you gotta stop holding grudges for certain stuff. Your mom was a person just like you. Like, she was just a woman.
Exactly.
Who wanted to, like, we all want sexual experiences, and sometimes everybody's not planning. It just wasn't a situation a lot of times, man.
Right.
Your mom is a person just like you, man. I didn't realize that till like 32. I was like, damn, my mom is a person.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Because we don't look at, like you said, we dehumanize them, and we look at them like, oh, you're a mom. Like you're nothing.
You're supposed to know it all. Like,
right.
You did good so far. What's going on with you today? You slipping like what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it because, we like to victimize. We like to put our parents in that space. But they're not accountable for who we are as adults. Yeah. Because you get over that threshold where you identify, you do that self-work, you identify what was toxic in your childhood and what got you to the point where you don't feel good. And then you start to move that. You say, okay, this didn't feel good to me. This is what happened. I have a mom who is clinically bipolar. And, people like, oh, my mom, she's crazy, she's bipolar. No, my mother has a chemical imbalance that she just doesn't want to fix. And that's the way I deal with that, period. Because I can't allow myself to get energy wrapped into that. And, oh my God, I wish I had this. And that's not, that's not for us to do. That's not the lane we're supposed to stay in. So, I just like that self-accountability work where you're saying, okay, I appreciate my parents for bringing me into this world and feeding me and getting me to this point, but the rest is on me. Yeah. That's a good place to be in, man. Oh, yeah. It's all about accountability, man. Discipline, consistency. It's like the pillars in life. Go ahead and pick another joint out that bag. The Invisibag. The Invisibag. Ooh, you did your homework. Yeah, a little bit. What are primal sounds? So, primal, being a primal player basically is someone who, we're going to take accountability and self-care like deeper. I am a person who embraces their animalistic behaviors. Some people like biting in bed. Some people like scratching in bed. Some people like hair pulling in bed. Those are basic primal animalistic behaviors that people don't realize that they're doing. Those are primal things. Like pulling someone's hair, that's not something that you walk down the street and do. That's a behavior. For me, primal sounds are growls, guttural things. When you're really in the moment, like you're in the bedroom and it's really getting intense. Some people make sounds that are animalistic. Those are the sounds I'm looking for. So I feel like what you really be looking for is natural. Yes. Human. Yep. I think that's back to like why we like Kanye, because Kanye he always show that vulnerable, natural side a lot. Exactly. He balanced it, but like, and especially in a world where everything is so fake, that's how you get people like Trump winning elections, because it's like even though he ignorant, it's so genuine that I'll take that over this lying, manipulative other candidate. That's right. Bro. That's the man. Being genuine and being real is a commodity right now. It's a hot commodity, but you know what? Again, we're going to circle back. You cannot be in that space if you ain't comfortable with yourself. Like, you can speak your truth all day. I don't really care what I say, because I can back up anything that I say. I'm confident, I'm comfortable. And some people are just like grasping, trying to figure out, how can I make myself look good? I don't really care how I look, because I look how I look. And I'm good with that. But, if you're honest and you're real, which is typically how I move, People respect you. Like, people respect you anywhere. I'm going to tell you exactly what the hell there's no guesswork of what I feel or what I think. Because, you know, I'm prepared to take the backlash or the reaction from that. Because that really means you're going to be expressing yourself. And if I can help you express yourself and get you further in that, then let's do it.
What's the craziest primal sound you heard?
The craziest primal sound. So my face light up because I get in my head a lot and I'll be like, ooh, that happened. 2 primal sounds. There's a gentleman, Sir Carl of Philly. He, black guy, really great dude. He growls. He doesn't identify as, most people identify as animals. Some people identify as like fantasy things because a lot of people are into cosplay and things like that. Yeah. He doesn't identify as anything, but he growls. And so when I go and see him at some of these conventions, because he's a friend of mine, and I'll say, hey, can you growl for me? And he just lets it, and you can feel it all the way. It just comes up, and it's just like, wow, that was. So it's a difference between hearing it in a bedroom and being able to produce it like live and like on demand. Yeah. There's a young lady that I'm mentoring right now, and she's a wolf. She identifies as a wolf, and she has a howl that is so impressive and beautiful. I think that you would be impressed.
So this is a safe zone for people to like release.
Exactly.
It is a type of therapy.
Yes.
What's your what's your special? What you put your cape on and do? And you're like, man, this is where I go crazy. This right here.
That's one of my collar pop.
Yeah.
My collar pop is flogging. So
yeah,
flogging is my collar pop. That is what I'm professional. That's what people call me for. A flogger is basically it's a larger cat of 9 tails.
Beats by Urban.
Beats by Urban. So this is a flogger.
And that's made out of the animal. What is it?
So this one is made out of yak.
Yak.
Most are made out of leather. A lot of our stuff is made out of leather. This is made out of yak, and this is made out of ostrich at the top. And this is what you call a flogger. These are called falls. This is my handle. But these are some of the things that that I typically use to either deliver pleasure or pain, and I have a collection of these things.
And like you can mop the hell out of a floor with that.
You can mop a floor, or you can swing it.
Yeah.
See?
And I heard whatever song she flogging you to, she gonna be right on beat. It don't even matter. I want to see you do it to a Twister song.
I can do it. I can do it to a Twister song. I love Twister, so yeah, I can get it in. I can do it to anything.
Yeah. Show the other one you got too.
So we have this one. This is so this one is, I like this one because this one's a fancy one. This is a more expensive one.
That color is crazy.
The color is beautiful. Like, this one was gifted to me for my birthday this year at an event. It has a chrome handle on it, and it's just easy to maneuver, but it is also leather, and they have different weights of leather.
There's some people who probably was with you having chills right now just watching you hold up your instruments.
You know what? I would not be surprised that when this show is over, like, people that actually contact you, because that happens. And so these are my babies. These are one of my favorite sets. They're very light and airy, as you guys can see. They're not heavy or anything like that. See, you've never touched them. Okay.
Do you wash them afterwards?
They are disinfected. I have a servant that disinfects all of my toys and my tools.
So let's talk about that. Like,
yes.
Because it's a certain. I want to make sure we ain't switching. Did we get enough for the before? Because I want to get into the aftercare.
Yes.
I heard you talking about aftercare, and then like I do want to talk about how you keep everything sanitary and everything too.
Absolutely.
Is it anything we missed on the actual? I know it's something. Somebody gonna be like, "How come you ain't asked that, man?"
So let's talk about consent.
Okay.
A lot of times, when you're talking about BDSM, you're seeing all these crazy scenes. Like, if you go to Pornhub, places like that, you'll see like crazy things happening. People being stomped on, people being spit on, people being walked like dogs. Don't ever forget, these are people that have consented to these things. These are people, remember, go back to vetting. These are people who have approached tops or dominance to say, hey, are you capable of doing these things to me?
Top or dom? That's the
The top or the dominant
leader
is the person who is in control of the play.
The chaperone.
It's the chaperone. It's the leader, the dominant, the mistress, the master, the whatever it is you want to call them. But that is the person who has the most responsibility in the scene.
Yeah. And
we call them scenes because it is orchestrated playtime. And it's just easier to acknowledge. But yes.
Okay. What's your when you out here doing this? What's you? I see you always got something playing. What's your favorite music to listen to?
My favorite music to listen to when flogging, I would have to say, it's really between trap music and rock music, like old school alternative, like Pink Floyd, System of a Down, rock music.
Why?
Because first of all, I'm a music connoisseur. I love music in general. Music is playing in my head 24/7.
What song playing right now, real quick?
Oh my God, I got a Kendrick song in my head. It's the freestyle remix.
Okay.
So I like that one because Shireen is in it and she be dancing by the car. I really like that.
Who's Shireen?
She be dancing by the car in the freestyle remix video.
I ain't saying.
Oh man, thank you, Kendrick. For that.
Yeah, shout out to Kendrick, man.
But
hit her up, man. Add some spice to your life.
You should. You really should. But that's what's in my head. But as far as flogging, I listen to music that I can catch rhythms in, because with using these things and anything that I use, I can slow my tempo, I can increase my tempo, but also I'm thinking about the person that is under me, my bottom, my submissive, making sure that the music is right for their mindset, because I want to project a certain kind of energy. And it just makes sense. And especially everybody knows that I'm methodical. You can, if you're getting hit with this over and over again, it's methodical. It's almost like a drum. That's where the therapy comes in. A lot of people don't realize that's the therapeutic part. It only gets heavy when I want it to get heavy. And so I can do that.
That's interesting. Man, question popped in my head. Why didn't you say that? Because I do notice that it's like on a beat, man, and those patterns, like, people like patterns. People like patterns
because it's rhythmic, tribal.
Everything looked like it hurt so much, though. That's something I just keep popping in my head. Like, a lot of the stuff look like it hurts so much. I see you go from, like, intense, and then you will let up to, like...
Exactly.
It's that sensory pull and pull.
Exactly.
Push and pull. I seen something on your... I seen some on your Instagram and said, I'm going to clothespin those vagina lips today.
Yes.
Explain that, bro.
That is definitely sensory. I have women who are very, what I call heavy bottoms, who just really, this is their space.
They want you to do whatever.
They ask for all the smoke.
Punch me in my face and ruin my credit.
I haven't got one of those yet, but I would like to do that. But yeah, for the most part, I do what I want, and it's a sensory thing. Women do like for their vaginal lips to be sore sometimes, and just for me to have that manipulation. So I have clothespin lips. All the way down, and I will take my hands or something that I can direct and either slap them off, or, I mean, they ask for it. So if they ask for it, they can take it.
So what do you think makes somebody want like a real intense session?
The ability to release. Because a lot of people...
Some people can't release, and you got to force it out of them.
There you go.
Jesus.
Look how quick you are. See, that a lot of people don't, you connecting that.
That's
some people
crazy.
have to get forced to literally release in order so they can continue to achieve. That's the same thing with discipline. Some people have to be forced in order to get over whatever emotional space they're in, or I hate this lady at work. She's just getting on my nerves. I need to be broken so that I can revive myself and I can start anew.
That's crazy.
Right? Isn't that crazy? I'm
understanding more and more, man. I really wanted to do this interview from an objective place. Because, some people could take this anywhere.
Yes.
It can go real crazy.
It can.
But I really try to find out what people do and figure out why they do it, what pushed them to do it. What's some of the hard parts of it?
Some of the hard parts would be Yeah.
I don't got no mint, so I'm sucking on lemon, man. So don't mind me.
Some of the hard parts would be being a high-profile dominant female and having to ward off all kind of BS.
Because there's a lot of people coming at you that just like a straight freak. Just
right.
Yeah, I'm coming to. And that's another question about how do you rid yourself of these energies, your detoxing of these energies afterwards and everything too. But go ahead with that.
What I typically do, so the people who are trying to enter my space, because I'm very good at, so I treat empaths. Most empaths absorb energy and don't know what to do with it. I can take the energy of an empath and I can redirect it because I can take that energy out.
Transmutation.
Got it. I'm good. Like I know what to do with that energy. I'm strong enough to redirect it. And for me, I am very straightforward. And people who know me know I'm straightforward. So there's no qualms about how I'm going to get someone out of my space. I'm going to get you out of my space. I'm just very outspoken. I don't like your energy, or this is not a good space for me. I don't think this should continue. Learning how to say no is one of the largest things that people don't have. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to waste my time. None of that. It's a no. And it just is what it is. And you should definitely keep moving. And if you have any controversy, like I'm confrontational. I'm a Chicagoan, so I mean, you can take this no, or you can take this no and it's ass whooping. Like, which one you want?
Don't make me act like I'm from 63rd.
Do not make me act like I'm a. Don't do it. So, but that rid my energy of like so many people. So I do what's called pick-up play when I go to these events and conferences. We have over 25 events and conferences throughout the year. Well over 250, 300 black folks in it. Like, it's a lot of us. It's a lot of white folks. We come together. We have a great time. Yeah.
I got a question, man.
Yes.
I don't want to keep interrupting.
You're okay.
But you creating the questions for me, man.
Good.
All right, bro. You ready?
Yes.
It's 300 people in the room, right? What does that room smell like when everybody's cash and prizes is out?
Leather.
Leather?
It smells like leather.
You never been in a room where you like, man, hold up, bro.
What?
Hold up.
Who?
You dominating me right now. It's like nasal flogging.
No, I don't.
Really?
Because it's not a sexual environment. There's not a lot of fluid exchange. So that's when you get that, when you get a lot of musty people. There's bathrooms, there's aftercare rooms.
Yeah.
No, and no one wants to play with a funky person. So yeah, if you walk into what we call the Baltimore Playhouse, you're gonna smell leather because you're gonna see a lot of these, a lot of whips, a lot of things like that. But you see a lot of people in leather, like kilts and vests and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
The funk level.
Man, I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
You gotta go to an event with me.
It's been a room that you've been in where you like, man.
A swingers room, yes.
A swingers room.
Yeah.
But that was before the.
Yeah, that's pre, and that's really just some people getting together and just doing some untraditional things. But I don't, even in swingers parties, I've never, I think the last time I've experienced something like that is 15, 20 years ago when it was just, we don't have that problem, no.
I'm hella socially awkward, so I don't think I'd be good there.
I bet you would be. Any person that comes around me and that I can help acclimate to an environment, I do really well.
Yeah. Because
I feel like anyone should be able to acclimate to any environment because there are things there that you might find interesting.
I find it interesting. I just don't know if I would interface well. I think it'd be very awkward.
What I try to tell people is the first time you're going to get into that environment, don't do anything but observe. Just be a voyeur. For the first 2 years I was in Kink, the only thing I did was voyeur. I didn't identify as anything. I didn't play with anyone. I didn't ask no questions. I had 2 mentors. Yeah. That's something that's also encouraged. Get a mentor. This is a lifestyle where people can beat you senseless. Get a mentor. And so I didn't identify for 2 years. I just watched. Yeah. And I was like, okay, when I was ready, I said, I want to do this, this, this. And then I did that, and it was like, okay, I like that. I'm going to try this. So you really can try to take your time. So many people want to rush into it and get that instant gratification. This is not an instant gratification kind of lifestyle. Life is not instant gratification if you're doing it right. That's the truth. That's definitely the truth. And we're at a place now where it's microwave. Everything, the people want it now.
Because they can get it now.
But it's so short term.
Yeah, that is it. Like eating. It's real quick pleasure for them calories to stick around for like a long time. But right here is the
right here is where it's at.
Yeah, man. Are those nails in there?
So these are spikes.
That could hurt you.
They can. I mean, I'm putting it on my hand.
Man, I wish I could see these. She got some gloves, man, with spikes in them. Did you make these yourself?
So these are my submissive actually made them. My traveling service submissive made them. These are called vampire gloves. And they're not going to be able to really see them, but they're spikes.
It's like thumbtacks. It's like hundreds of them in each finger.
And each finger in the palm. And
ain't no way that don't hurt.
I'm holding them. I'm literally holding them.
Nah, that's drawing blood. You smack somebody with that?
Look. How many times have you hung up Christmas lights? They're thumbtacks.
Yeah.
Well, now these, I don't think these are thumbtacks, but these are something. These are, yeah. Like, I mean, you have to embrace it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. These are not hurting because I am aware of the pain, like I am intentionally holding them, like these are spikes. Now, the difference is if I actually put this on and handle someone, that's a different story. That's a different can of worms than me just holding them in my hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
If you smack too hard, man, and it can claw, right?
Yeah, I can. I mean, I typically won't. I will do some clawing with these, but I'm typically spanking with these, and these are for bottoms who are very heavy bottoms. Like I won't use these for beginners at all, not even for sensory play. Yeah. Because typically, if something has happened, I'm probably gonna draw blood with these. Yeah. Which is fine in my realm, just making sure that I'm cleaning and sanitizing properly. But I do have scenes that do end in some blood. Depends on the person.
Let's talk about that, man. We're gonna come back to how much you can make in this field. Okay. But let's talk about that drawing blood, because I see a lot of people be proud of their bruises that you get.
Yes.
You smile. You proud of it too.
I am. So bruises so they're called trophies because we basically have to. People want to know how much they can endure, if that makes sense. Yeah. And they want to walk away from a scene knowing that they were able to continue on with the scene without calling out red, which is, means stop the scene. Yeah. That's safe word. That safe word, that red word, a lot of people really pride themselves on getting through different scenes. And yeah, I mean, the trophies and the bruises, they show this is what I walked away with. This is what I worked hard for. Because when you first start in kink, you're not going to immediately get bruises. You're building that tolerance up. So when you finally do start to get, bruises and things like that, they take pride in them. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And what type of mindset are you doing? Any type of pre-gaming to like get yourself ready for it? Or are you just going in, or what are you doing before a session?
Depends on what kind of session I'm going to have. So if I'm going to do like a wax play session, there's not really a whole lot. Just making sure my space is sanitized, making sure that I'm kind of getting in the zone. I'll typically have a drink and really get to it, because when I do wax play, like a lot of people have seen wax play done. It's, pouring wax on your partner and getting it off or whatever. When I do wax play, I remove wax with a knife, with a hunting knife.
Everything looks so dangerous. Some of us, I see you had a whole carrying case.
I had my sheath and my carrying knife. And I'm careful about what I do. I've never nicked anyone. I've never cut anyone during wax play. But it's just those types of things that, again, you have to be aware of. And, I mean, I could remove it with a card, but...
What's the fun in that?
What's the fun in that? I mean...
I was thinking about this grease play.
Grease play?
Yeah. What? I think it's a new kink. I think I'm on to something.
Oh, God.
You might have to call this the type kink.
I think he's making it up, y'all.
You can make them up.
You know what? You're right. You can make them up. What is grease play?
It's when you get some frying grease and you get it real hot on the stove till it's smoking, and then you just splash it on everybody in the room. Maybe it should be called the Marvin Gaye.
No, we're not gonna call it the Marvin Gaye or the Al Green or anything
Al
like
Green,
that.
Yeah. That was hot grits though.
That was grits. I like grits. Yeah, no. So you don't want to hospitalize anyone. You don't want to hospitalize. Grease is one of those top things. We don't deal with biohazard material. We don't deal with toxic. We don't deal with but remember, consent. So you can't splash boiling grease, your boiling grease to be specific, on anyone that did not consent to your boiling grease.
But if they down,
if they say, yes, I want that boiling grease, then that's on you, but you guys both might end up in jail.
Put the grease on me right now, Daddy. Please, Daddy. Put the grease on me, Daddy.
It's funny. I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and I do what's called fire play. It's a Middle
Eastern.
Far off,
man.
No, it is, because it's a Middle Eastern like therapeutic technique that I use. How's and ever. They were like, oh man, you gonna Rick James somebody. No, Rick James bound somebody to a bed and then tried to do fire on them. For me, it's, the person is aware, it's a therapeutic environment, and I'm basically have a drum circle on their back and fire. And they never feel the fire. What you feel is like puffs of smoke and steam, and it releases the tension in your muscles and things like that. It's like a massage.
That's wow.
Yeah, it just looks, a lot of things that we do look extreme.
Yeah.
Some of them are not.
Yeah.
Some
of them are not.
I'm very careful about saying that. Some of them are not.
Okay. We did talk about this before. I kind of want to ask in a respectful way. How do you go about the golden showers? Why do you think somebody would like that?
Golden showers. The way that I like to break the golden showers down is people enjoy being marked. People enjoy being marked. To take it a step further, why do women want to have their face ejaculated on?
You asking me?
They want to be marked. They want that trophy. It depends on how people want it delivered. There are women who are squirters, and their partners are like, yes, I like that. Some men specifically look for squirters because they like the way it feels. The same thing. For me in specific, because I'm a person, I've dabbled in water sports, and I haven't done it in a few years because I'm not a bottom anymore. But like that warm sensation from my partner is like pleasing to me. Like it's part of my kink. Mm-hmm. And that's, it started off with my wife, and my wife was a squirter, and I enjoyed that sensation. Like when she was on me and she would like have that release, I enjoyed it. And so to take a step further, like a guy is not necessarily going to like, release in that way, but you can use urine. Some people use spit. I'm not a spit person. I don't want you spitting on me. We might fight.
Because people be spitting that spit from back here, man. That ain't regular spit, man.
Don't bring the loogie spit. Like if you're gonna do the spit, bring the quick spit out. But again,
that
that's
black and mild chicken sandwich spit. Where it still be having pieces of.
Oh my God, that's a hard limit for me. Spitting is a hard limit. A hard limit is basically something that I never want to experience.
Yeah.
I never want to experience spitting. Period.
What's another hard limit?
Scat play. That's play with feces.
Okay, so I thought that was when you play Ella Fitzgerald in the background.
You know what? Hard limit.
Okay, no Ella Fitzgerald or okay.
So that, and I want to say bloodletting. So bloodletting is actually intentionally drawing blood.
That's a biohazard, man.
So you have to really come prepared for bloodletting, and I don't want to intentionally be cut. Like that's not something I'm going for. Like if I get bruises or if I get like small pinpricks from this, that's a different story. But actually, there are people who will bring in knives or what's called needle play, where they make designs with needles in the skin, and that's just not one of the things that I'm interested in.
Man, every time I got it, I lose it. Okay, with the COVID going on, how are you doing that? People masked up, got on little panty masks, maybe.
So hopefully no one's vaginas are getting COVID. But
you ever heard one cough?
Ew, a queef maybe, not a cough.
No, I'm talking about one of them harsh deep throat chest coughs.
No, we need to go back to the drawing board for that one. No, we can't have that.
Oh, okay.
For COVID, the events that we go to, you have to be vaccinated or have to completely be masked up. Some places, even a step further, you have to come in with a negative test. even to get to these events. So
negative COVID test?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to, no matter if you went to an event last week, for this event, you need a negative COVID test to attend.
So you vaxxed that thing up?
So I got my first vaccination on the 27th of August.
Really?
And I was completely like, I am not...
Because you don't seem like one of them people who would want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it. So because I travel so much, I have to be accountable.
Yeah.
When my son, I have a son that's 9 years old, and when he caught COVID, he became so sick, like I didn't have to hospitalize him, but I would pray at night to make sure that, because I felt like his breathing was so shallow, there was a possibility that he could have passed in the middle of the night. And for me, number one, I don't necessarily believe in the vaccinations, hows and ever. If I can stop myself from transferring, even if there's a minute chance that I can stop myself from transferring it to my family, then I'll have to take that hit. Yeah. And that's kind of where I am with it. I'd much rather take a hit than to have to put one of my kids in the hospital because I'm irresponsible and I travel.
How you feel after you took it? Did you get sick?
I feel terrible.
You mean, not how you feel residually. How'd you feel the day after?
Yeah.
Oh, you
terrible.
think it's making you feel terrible still?
But I feel like that with all of the vaccinations. When I first got the flu vaccination 15 years ago, I only got that because I had a baby, and they make you get it when you have a baby, and that was the first time I had the flu. And I know that it's a lighter version, or like a non-active, whatever the hell they want to say what's in the vaccine. Each time that I've taken a vaccine that way, I've gotten sick. So with the first COVID vaccine, I really wasn't aware, but I knew that with the two different strands that are coming behind COVID-19, I need to get it done. And immediately I had arm pain. Yeah. Like I felt like my arm, like I had strokey arm. Like my arm felt like it was just like not okay. Yeah. So I dealt with that, and then
probably couldn't even get a good.
Yeah, nah. I felt the way because I was getting ready to go to New York, and so I needed to make sure that I could be fluid. Right. So that happened, but then along with that, I started getting congestion, and then I started getting a cough. Like I'm very surprised that I'm
you start
not
getting
coughing.
the symptoms.
I started getting the symptoms. Like I've had COVID before. I had it December 31st when someone came to my house and bought me some Christmas gifts, and I had a light version of it. And I was grateful to say that I had a light version of it. I was down for 2.5 weeks, so I know what it feels like. But this feels very similar to where it was before. The only difference is I can't transfer it, and that's where I am now. Like there's the coughing, and I'm just it's really a mess. And I heard that the second one takes people down, like it makes people sick. But it really depends on your body and blah 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 blah. So I'm just going to take it in stride, but understanding, why I'm dealing with it. Because at the end of the day, I'd much rather be the person to filter out the pain, the suffering from my family than it to hit my kids. Yeah. Look, sometimes we got to take that hit.
Do you tell your kids what you do?
So I have my 24-year-old knows what I do. She is old enough. She is also a bit kinky. She's into rope play and wax play, and I'm just very honest. I realized about 3 weeks ago my children has never seen monogamy because I am not a monogamous person, and I'm a family-oriented person. So I've always had multiple women around me that they looked at as other mothers, aunties, whatever the case might be, including even my male partners. They've always had multiple parents. And so when my oldest daughter started dating and had to explain to her boyfriend that I'm interested in other people, and he couldn't understand why. She had to come and have the conversation with me, like, Mom, are we not normal? And we are as normal as we're going to be.
Everybody's not mentally free.
Everybody's not mentally free, and my kids are so with this, they're so enthralled in it that everything else looked non-normative to them. Yeah. So, my daughter, my oldest daughter, she knows about my lifestyle. She's home with me, and she just graduated from UC, and she actually just started a business, and she knows, so she's supportive. And so when I go to leave, she can take over the household. And then my 15-year-old, I think that she has an inkling of what it is that I do, but we haven't sat down to have that conversation yet because it's just not in the space for her to have that conversation.
Do you go out and still do shows while you was pregnant?
Oh no. I haven't been pregnant in 9 years.
Well, that's a whole new kink.
What, pregnancy? Oh, I can't do. No, I'm not doing that.
I've seen some real hot pregnant chicks.
I got things to do. I like to wear way too many things. I'm considered a nudist, a hedonist, all kind of stuff.
What's a hedonist?
A hedonist is someone who enjoys being in like high sexual environments and is comfortable like navigating those waters.
Yeah.
No, I don't. After 30, I made sure I couldn't have any kids. I got stuff to do. I can't be having kids at 45.
Why not, man?
Because I want to enjoy my life.
That's the journey. That's the journey.
I did the journey. I am 24 years into the motherhood journey, and I am kicking some butt.
I think you should try to have one at 50, man, just to push the envelope. I'm
responsible for so many other individuals. I'm trying to build America. I'm trying to make America great again. Okay.
Yeah. So you say your daughter even has a business. Let's go ahead and get back into like how much can you make from this?
Sure. In kink, you can name your price. You have to be self-aware and understand what environment is going to be most profitable for you. For me, it's middle-aged white men. In Europe, it depends. It just, for me, I'm a commodity in different places: Germany, Europe, China. Some of the southern states like Florida, where you have like the vacationing, the retirees and stuff like that. That's where you make tons of money.
I want to do a love making tour at all the nursing homes in Florida.
They didn't got no money. They got no money.
Okay.
They got wheels and stuff. Their kids got that locked.
Okay.
No, them kids got that locked. I don't want to be assassinated.
Where they got the bag at, man? The
bag for me personally, it depends because how everybody gauges success is different.
Yeah.
I don't gauge success by money. Yeah. Because I've been making money since I've been 14 years old. I can make money when I want to make money. I gauge success based on the people that I grow around me. Yeah. But for me, what's important is my first hobby and my first love is traveling. And so it's important for me to be able to travel and not have to come out of pocket.
Yeah, and you knock out 2 birds, 1 stone.
2 birds, 1 stone every time. So
that's it, man. That's it, man.
See, it makes sense. You have to make sure it makes sense.
Yeah. And let me clear that up. It's not a love making job. I don't want to have love with our grandma. But I just want to stand in a room full of them and do this.
He wants to entertain your grandparents.
Or maybe just cuddle with them. I would call myself the embalmer.
They don't want your company. Not the embalmer. Can you call it something like Happy Days?
Because I fill them up with a little bit of love before they leave the earth. I feel them.
No. We need to come back to the drawing board with that.
You don't like that name, the embalmer?
Maybe the pacemaker.
Nah, man. We're going to get it together.
Oh, no. I don't want none of that. Now they start to sound like sexual positions. The embalmer.
Just give them love, man. Fill them up with some love. If the embalmer fill you up with embalming fluid.
They don't want to be bothered. Give their ass some coloring sheets.
Man, I think I got love for older women that they need, man. Appreciation.
I met an older woman that was almost 80 years old at Hedonism. Mm-hmm. Hedonism is a swinging resort in Jamaica, in Negril, Jamaica, and that's why I resort. I prefer nude resorts because that's what makes me happy. Mm-hmm. And I went there for the first time in 2014, and I met this black lady who had this silver bob. She had these big, beautiful nipple rings in, tattoos everywhere, not a wrinkle in sight. Really? Like, I literally watched this lady for half of the day before I could go and say something to her because she was just so gorgeous.
Is this after you was a dominant?
No, this is before.
Okay.
And I went up and I talked to her, and she told me her name was Jeanette. People who go to hedonism will know who she is.
Really?
And yeah, she has a husband, and he's just like, he's so happy and he's so grateful. But she's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And she's just so self-aware at the age of 80. And it was just interesting to see how people really take their lives and just kind of run with it.
Yeah. So you saying it's pretty open. You can just if you can get them to say yeah to it, then you can do it.
If you can get them to say yeah to it, and you feel like it's a safe idea, then yes.
Yeah. Because you're providing a real service to people.
It's a service. It is a service. So it's a service that some people absolutely need and can't do without. And then for people. It's their getaway for being able to work as many hours as they work and be able to play.
I probably only got a couple more questions for you. Let's go back in this bag, man. There's a couple more in there, man. It's about to get interesting.
Don't forget, I got something for you, too. I'm going to give that to you in a second.
All right. She's going to pull some nipple rings out.
I got no nipple. I got no nipple rings with me. Monogamy.
Just with a question mark.
Monogamy.
We kind of already hit that.
Yeah, monogamy.
Yeah, we naturally got into that one.
Monogamy is not a natural state. I'll even go deeper. Monogamy, I don't feel like is a natural state. When we get with people, we expect for them to be focused on us. This is, you want to be here, this is where you be, this is where your eyes are. That is not realistic.
That's the problem. Expectation.
You're projecting your expectations on other people. Monogamy was built just like I believe in religion, my own opinions, but I believe it was used to control people.
Yeah.
And we're all individuals. You know, at some point you have to understand that if we get together, I'm not going to stop being attracted to other people.
Right.
That's weird. It's like, okay, so for 39 years I've been on this earth and I've been attracted to, I don't know, millions of people, and then all of a sudden you are the one.
And it's even weirder when people try to act that out and make it real. It's just like,
I'm not looking at nobody. I don't look at no people.
Right.
I don't even like people.
You're right.
What?
Yeah.
Why not be honest with self and say, yes, of course I'm attracted to other people. That's what I did, because at the end of the day, so many people get cheated on and they participate in unethical non-monogamy, which is cheating. And in fact, having the conversation with your partner, it tends to be a lot more simpler than realizing that he got a baby on the way. You know, hey, babe, this new girl started here. She is dope. Like, she's got this business. Like, I'm really digging her. I want to know, like, how do you feel about me taking her out on a date? Mm-hmm. Guess what? You can say no if you want. It's not going to stop there.
Right.
You can fool yourself into believing that what I just said is the end all be all. Or you can think of it as, why would I control this person? If this person is honest enough to bring this to me, then how can I get out of my own way and my own feelings in order to support my partner in what he's going to do? Because he's going to do it.
Yeah. I think, man, when you get in touch with yourself on a certain level, you start realizing, like, what appreciation and love really is. And it's like, that's manipulation. And it's like, why would I ruin your life experience by trying to bound you?
Exactly.
With an invisible tie called love or a relationship? Like, if you lucky enough to still have feeling and not be jaded and have love, you should be able to share it with everybody who needs it.
Exactly.
Like, you shouldn't have to. So are you like legally married?
No.
That's another thing. I'm like, man, you need a license for everything in America. They want you to have a love license.
Yes.
Literally like a driver's license or a fishing license. No, you got to get a license to love this person. Our love didn't start overnight. So all of a sudden we got to bring the government into something that's already been happening for 5, 10, 20 years.
To make it real.
To make it real. No, so you can be taxed on your love.
Exactly. You can be taxed, you can be tracked.
Jesus.
People don't realize also, if I start dating you, do you really want to take on all of me? Are you really capable of satisfying?
Nobody likes you all the way.
Nobody.
All this stuff is conditional. I might not feel, we waver as people. I'm not going to feel the same as I did yesterday, possibly. And you should know that up front. Okay. And that's okay, because I don't expect you either, if we all being genuine.
Exactly.
But that's the problem. Realness is a commodity. It's in very low supply.
Exactly. I have my partners. I have 3 girlfriends. I'm dating a same-sex couple here, and I have a girlfriend that's in New Jersey. And I'm dating a gentleman here. And people are scheduled for days. When I want to be bothered, that's when I'm bothered. Why? Because it makes sense to me. I'm not going to allow anyone to push their energy off on me and make me feel bad because of what they need from me.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
That you could provide to yourself with self-love.
Thank you. Period. Once
you invest in yourself, you start realizing, like, you don't really need a lot of this other stuff.
Right.
And why would I, the ties, the whole,
that's stressful.
It's stressful, man.
I need you to make me happy.
What? You can tell by the way somebody look at you like, oh, you need this.
Right.
It's all, that's the balance of relationship. One person need this relationship. The other person's like, man, I'm kind of just here just to help you along.
Exactly.
Like,
that's not healthy.
You don't want to be the person who's looking right. desperately. That's a turnoff in every situation. If you go into a job interview and act too thirsty for a job, they'd be like, nah.
Something off with this one.
It's just not attractive to be thirsty.
It's not attractive to be thirsty. And, I mean, to be able to speak your truth. Yeah. What I run into here in Cincinnati is a lot of men don't have their own place. A lot of men don't have their own place. A lot of men don't have their own cars.
What's the weirdest place you've been asked to come to? Hey, come to...
My sister's, some guy was like, yeah, you know, I'm here and I want you to come to my sister's house. And like, I've gotten a lot of that. It's not like rare. Like, I've gotten a lot of that. Like, come to my sister's house, come to my brother's house. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, no, I have my own home.
Yeah.
And I don't need to come to your home. And I mean, I don't mind having company, but at the end of the day, what is it that you can contribute to this relationship where you're already depending on someone else for one thing or another?
Yeah.
Now, if you're cohabitating with someone because you have a goal in mind, not because you need to stay there, that's a different set of worms, because I can get with communal living. I have no issue with that. Mm-hmm. But actually needing someone because I need to stabilize, but you need to stabilize for 2 years, though, that's a lot. That's a lot of stabilization.
Stabilizing this couch. I'm gonna make sure this couch don't lift up off the ground.
I'm a grown woman. I don't want to be in nobody's bedroom that I can't be myself in. That's crazy.
Yeah. This ain't even his bedroom. It's his sister's bedroom.
And your sister dressers. Like, no, we're not doing that. Hey. I'm a grown woman. I need grown woman things.
That's hilarious. I got this joke that I do. I do a little stand-up, too. I was like, if Harriet Tubman was alive today, you think she'd be a lesbian?
She might be.
I think Harriet Tubman, I think she probably was a lesbian back then.
I don't know. She was looking a little butches.
Can you imagine Harriet Tubman coming home and seeing her dude on the couch playing the game and ain't did nothing all day?
She might shank him.
And she like, man, you ain't found a job yet? He like, baby, I can't find no job. She like, nigga, I found freedom.
Right.
You can't find a job?
I find a lot of that too. I find a lot of that, a lot of instability.
Why do you think that is? And it's like, it's always like a male dependent on a woman. It's never like, a few times it might be like, I'm staying with my homeboy.
Right.
But that's probably somebody who can get themselves back on their feet. They truly stand there for a couple months or something. Mm-hmm. What do you think that is in relationships today, that the dominance of women and the submissiveness of men?
A lot of men don't want to admit that depending on the woman is a submissive trait. It can be a supportive trait, but it depends on the intent behind the support.
What are you contributing to it?
What are you contributing to it? You know, my thing is, if you're staying with me because you're in between work, but you're in school, you're in school.
Just that phrase, you stand with me. Like, that means you can be kicked out. Ain't you tired of being kicked out of places? Ain't you tired of putting your clothes in them garbage bags? You ain't never had a formal suitcase. Never, man.
I encourage people who are in between spaces to go to a shelter. And I know it's not necessarily the best place, but a shelter will allow you to get on your feet without depending on another person.
And letting you feel the weight of the situation.
Exactly.
Some people, like, I was homeless before. And instead of staying in the shelter, I stayed in my car in the winter. Mm-hmm. Just because I'm like, I never learn unless I feel the totality of the weight that is on my life right now.
Love it.
Like
that.
Because if somebody gonna give you a way to go, they doing your work for you, and can't nobody save you.
You're gonna be it's gonna be a repetitive cycle.
It's like doing push-ups, man. You get good at doing push-ups because you do them right, and you don't run from the weight, and you handle it in a certain way, like any type of exercise, really. But you want to feel the weight of the situation so you can get out of it and stay out of it. People scared of themselves.
People are scared of themselves, and they're scared to be accountable for the things that they the predicaments they put themselves in. And they want to go back to, well, my parents raised me this, or I didn't get that.
Yeah.
At some point, you've already identified where you're lacking.
Yeah.
It is your responsibility to fix it.
Yeah.
And some people are just intimidated with taking the action behind it. Like, it's uncomfortable. I love having uncomfortable conversations. Yeah. Why? Because I learned from it.
Yeah, and it's people out here who really think they're perfect, man. I don't even like hearing people say that as a play term. Like, I'm perfect. I ain't got to work on nothing. It's just like, that's disgusting, man.
Always working on something. I got audiobooks and journals, and it's always I'm always a work in progress. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm actually out right now on leave from my job because I hurt myself. But even in sitting in the bed, all I can do is sit in the bed. But how can I capitalize off of just sitting in the bed all day? When I had COVID, I worked 10 hours a day in my bed on COVID for my business. Mm-hmm. There is no excuse but to be able to excel and set yourself up for success. Mm-hmm. Procrastination is definitely one of my things, but as I'm getting older, I'm realizing, do you mean the things that you say? And if you mean the things that you say, why can't they start now? Mm-hmm. Like, that is accountability. And as I'm getting older and older, I am teaching and transferring that information to other people so they can set themselves up for success.
I like to get to know people who do different stuff, especially in this climate where you got to have something you control for income. You can have a job, but if they can feed you, they can starve you. Mm-hmm. That's something I think the pandemic, like I say, really showed us, is that you got to have a trick up your sleeve. You got to have a trade on your person. So add some value to yourself. And that's really the name of the game, man. Add value to yourself, man, so you can't be outsourced. Exactly. You can't be pushed out the way. Tell them how they can get in touch with you one more time.
Well, you can get in touch with me. I can be found on UrbanKinkster.com. UrbanKinkster is my trade name, so I am UrbanKinkster on Instagram. I am Kinkster Urban on Twitter, and I'm also UrbanKinkster on Facebook, so I can be found on all of those platforms. Don't forget, I did bring you something.
Hold up, before you get to that, I did have one more question.
Yes.
With you having like your work is in a sexual niche. Mm-hmm. How was your sex drive in your personal relationships?
So I'm knocking on 40, and so my sex drive is extremely high. Mm-hmm. Being in Cincinnati does not allow me to satisfy that.
What you mean, man?
I told you that already. I cannot find suitors in Cincinnati who are serious. Because, like you said, you can look at my eyes. If I'm in a grocery store and you see me coming like this, how many men do you honestly think are going to say something to me? Zero. I've been here 5 years. I know what it looked like. It don't look like nothing.
Yeah, because you see people look at you all day. You like, man.
Yeah, I've literally watched someone watch me. They will watch me, but to say something to me, like I think they really want my eyes like lowered and kind of like, they don't like the confidence because that eye contact intimidates people.
They know they won't be the dominant one.
You can try.
Even in personal like relationships, you still like want to be the dominant person. You want to be.
When I'm with a man who is confident in himself, he doesn't even have to be dominant. He just has to be confident in himself and has done his self-work. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't necessarily need to be the dominant in that relationship. Like, I'm a baby girl. I like to be coddled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to be an alter ego at work.
Exactly.
And then your introvert self, your submissive self with an intimate partner.
Exactly.
I mean, it makes sense. If anybody want to holler at you out there, what's a good way to get at you if they see you in the grocery store and they want to holler at you?
Yeah, just walk up to me. I am a real person. I love talking to people. I love networking. Like, if you see me focused, all you got to do is like, hey, I know you. I'm like, really? You know me? I'm really cheesy. I'm really outgoing. But just having that conversation, I think is just really important. Get off y'all shoulders. It's okay. I'm friendly.
Yeah, man. I think it's too like it's intention. Mm-hmm. Your intention to make you shy to talk to somebody because they're like, man, I just want to really have sex, and it's gonna make it awkward. Like,
right? Like
this. If I was really focused on sex, this interview probably wouldn't go as well.
Right?
It'd be more weird.
Mm-hmm.
But like objectively, just talking about like it'd be people's mind state when they at it.
Exactly.
Let me see. I did want you to answer this last question, man.
I'm with it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Long as you've held a fast?
A fart.
A fart. The longest I've held a fart.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know if it's my Southern etiquette or what it is. So I've never had a partner pass gas in front of me. And so likewise, that I know of. Because if I do, they're going to probably get that weird look like, did you just make me smell in your asshole? Like, for real. But as long as I've held,
I won't smell it.
I don't really hold it. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm a pooter. I'm going to my mama taught me, get your ass up, go to the bathroom. So the longest I've held a fart, probably not very long. I'm going to the bathroom.
Even during a session?
I don't necessarily have to. Like, if it comes out, it comes out, but typically it won't.
You ain't never had an Italian beef before a session? You like, Oh man.
No,
Sound like somebody moving desk inside your stomach.
I like being in the
School
bedroom.
desk.
I know better. I'm prepared. I'm not gonna be eating no super excited meals, going to the Outback and having a steak Alfredo. Nah, I'm not doing that. We're gonna eat some salad because we got some things to do later.
Before you go to Freaker Ween, I want you to eat 10 cheese conies.
Whoa, no. That's too much playtime.
Turn it into a sipping paint.
Man, look. You should go to Freako Wing. It's gonna be fun.
Hey man, I would go and watch.
You can go and watch. That's what I said. Go and voyeur. No one's gonna bother you if you voyeur.
Man,
Next time I have a small event. I actually have a small private birthday party that I'm gonna be doing soon. That I'm gonna be doing a surprise birthday spanking at. It's in Dayton. So if I have any small events around here, if you ever want to go to the dungeon, because there is a local dungeon here that is Black supervised and owned, let me know. Just reach out to me so you can get the feel for, how your energy would be in that space.
okay. All right. Yeah, I think that was it, man. We're going to play one last game, man. This game is a game that I play on every show at the end. This game is called This or That. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to give you a couple choices. And you tell me either this choice or that choice.
Mm-hmm.
All right? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Gold Star or Skyline?
What?
Yeah.
Skyline.
Why you so...
Because you don't put spaghetti in chili.
We do here. That's our thing.
No.
That's what we known for.
I'm not eating it.
With the beans? Chronic or Get Rich or Die Trying?
I'm gonna have to go with the Chronic. That's just it's just a legendary album.
Wouldn't be one without the other.
Man, for real.
Purple Rain or Thriller?
Purple Rain.
Okay, now that you said Purple Rain. Diamonds and Pearls or 1999?
1999.
Damn, you was on that one quick.
Oh yeah, I'm music.
Yeah. Swisher, Backwoods or Papers?
Swisher.
Swisher? Oh, you old school.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. Meg Thee Stallion or Doja Cat?
Meg. Oh, Meg. Meg, I love you.
What you like about her so much? She at Amazon
too. Oh my God,
too.
she is an Amazon. She is articulate. She is business. She seems like she's cool as hell. She's kinky. Yes.
I think she would need to be a fat girl.
What?
She got a fat girl smile.
I think that eventually she might be.
I can see it in chicks like, man, I think you'd be way happier, like 50 pounds heavier, like.
I don't know. It don't matter what she does. Between her and Rihanna, it don't even matter what they do.
Yeah. You had Rap Snacks before?
Rap Snacks?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the chips with the rappers on the front.
Yeah. No, I haven't had them.
You ain't had none yet?
No.
Okay, I won't ask you that one. One gotta go. East Coast, West Coast, North, South, rap. Which coast gotta go? If you eliminate a coast, nothing that ever came out of there ever existed again.
Oh, that's terrible.
So it's really East, West, or South?
Yeah. No. Why can't we get rid of the North?
You get rid of the West. You don't got no
Damn,
Dre. You don't got no 40.
I know.
What?
I'm gonna have to say, we'll go ahead and get rid of the East Coast.
You gonna get it? That kind of can't even be a choice.
It can't be a choice, but if I gotta choose, I can't eliminate Tupac.
Dang, I didn't think about that when I did that.
Exactly.
Because if you eliminate the East Coast, then you kind of don't got the rest of them.
Exactly. See, you can't do that.
Yeah, but you got rid of them.
Man, look, Pac stands strong. I'm standing with Pac.
You still a Pac fan?
Standing with Pac.
Who was your favorite modern day artist, rapper, maybe?
Modern day, I got a lot of artists that I actually enjoy, but I would say Kendrick is definitely one of my favorites.
For sure. Okay. All right. You the freshest you ever been. You about to go out to the club or something. But your only shoes to pick is the S. Carters, the G Units, or the P. Millers. What you rocking?
I don't know what any of those things are.
Oh,
I have
Jesus.
Cowboy boots.
You wear cowboy boots all the time?
I wear boots and I got some black shoes. They're black. They have Nike on them.
Oh, okay. They have Nike on them. Hey, that was funny. Let's see. Would you rather constantly stumble while walking or stutter while speaking?
Ooh, I would say stumble while walking because I'm pigeon-toed. And so I do walk and I stumble and I'm clumsy as hell. and I can deal with that.
Okay. You got a wedgie in public. You pulling it out, or you just waiting?
Oh, it's getting pulled out.
Okay. Just straight out. Just
man, my ass eat underwear. It's got to go.
I wanted to come up with this thing where you just put it in the crack of your ass to keep wedgie. It's gonna be called wedgie out. Wedge out.
I just don't. There's no eliminating wedgies in my life at this point, but it's good. It's cool.
All right. Let me see what else I got, man. Okay, it's wash day. All your clothes dirty. You going commando, or you rocking them dirty drawers inside out?
What? Oh my God! I'm going commando.
Yeah. Chicks definitely really can't do that, man. You got like an open wound on you, man. You can't just be flipping your drawers inside out.
I'm not doing that. That's ridiculous.
Cookie or brownie?
Is it edible?
Is it edible?
See?
It could be.
I'm going to go with brownie.
Brownie, center or edge piece?
Oh,
that center boy with the ice cream.
Ooh. Center. I'm going to have to go with center.
Oh, my God, man. I just had a flashback. I almost took my shirt off and lowered the lights in here, man. Think about the brownie.
Take your shirt off. You take your shirt off. That's what's going to happen. We're going to see what happens.
There's going to be brownies coming from all out of...
What? Are you a snack machine?
Man, I'm trying to fix my life right now, so I'm on this diet, and I can't... You can't really eat nothing on it. Anything that tastes good is a wrap.
What are you doing, keto?
Nah, it's just... I forget what it's called, but it's no carbs, it's no type of sugar, no... Some meats you can't even have, man. I want some... the other day, I was at this concert, and I smelled bacon.
Lost it.
Bacon is a different type of smell.
You know what? I tell people, even people who don't eat pork anymore, be like, hey, you know what I miss, though? It's that bacon.
Bacon, man. Like,
I don't care what y'all say. Bacon is from God.
It is, man. Pork belly, period, man. My grandma used to get that. Your people probably from the South too. That thick sliced bacon with the salt on it. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was extra hazardous for your health, man.
Extra hazardous, but now they got different types of bacon. I got some chorizo bacon the other day.
Chorizo bacon,
man, that shit went so hard,
man. You know what I want? I want to take a pound of fried bacon, chopped up, and I want to go to Chipotle or Corrito and be like, put this on top of my bowl. Do you know how crazy it would be if they had a bowl of bacon?
A bacon bowl.
A bacon bowl.
Bacon
a chicken bacon bowl.
A chicken bacon bowl. A chicken
cheese.
Bacon ranch bowl.
With extra cheese, the shredded cheese with the... Oh, my God, man. Oh, no!
Who makes that?
Man, it ain't made yet.
I don't know. I'm have to find that.
Chipotle.
Bubba
Corrito.
Have you been to Bubba Cool's yet?
What's that?
Bubba Cool's is on Coleraine, right across from Meyer. It's new little bitty spot. They make stuff like that.
I can't have it right now, man.
Damn. I'm gonna have it for you.
Please, man. I'll lick your fingers when you get done.
The barbacoa, the queso, and
I don't like liquid cheese, man.
Really?
I like shredded cheese, like kinda halfway shredded.
I got to have the liquid cheese. Even on my Italian beefs, I like to have.
Okay, so you come from that though.
See,
yeah, it makes sense now.
The warm cheese.
Let's see, cash money or no limit. Come on, man, this is easy.
No, it's not, because I was just rocking the No Limit Soldiers yesterday.
You seem like you gonna say no limit. You seem like a no limiter.
I'm gonna have to say no limit because Mystical and Mamma Mia and we can dismiss Silk the Shocker. He wasn't really that good, but we got other people.
The boy did numbers though.
He did do numbers. That's because he was with the camp.
Yeah, it went platinum twice in 1 year.
I know, but if Mystical
was that dude, man. I used to always wonder, like, y'all really like this Silk the Shocker? Like, you don't want to mess with us. When I heard that, I was like, I'm done.
Mystical set the standard. He was ready, especially when the smokers. Right.
You already know what that is when you hear that.
See, exactly.
Here I go. Yeah. Prince or Mike? Did we already say that?
No, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
How can you say something like that?
We kind of did already say it, but...
Prince or Mike?
The one-man band Introvert.
Oh.
Or the I'll say
I'm gonna
Mike.
have to say Mike.
I'll say Prince, man.
I'm gonna have to say Mike because without Mike, there's no Prince.
Really?
Without Mike, there's no Prince. Who's older?
Man. I think
who's older?
Mike, but
When did he start his
But
career?
Prince is like an offshoot of like.
You can't even compare the two.
I say Prince is more of an offshoot of like Stevie Wonder.
I agree, but he also had a lot of Mike in him too. But you're right, he's more Stevie. But I just love them both. There's like there's no picking either of those two, and I never got a chance to see them in concert before they passed. So I'm really salty about that.
Yeah. Late nights or early mornings?
Late nights.
Biggie or Pac?
Pac.
Carl Winslow or Phillip Banks?
Phillip Banks.
Bye. A burrito or a bowl? I already asked you that.
You said a burrito or a bowl?
Yeah.
A bowl.
Yeah, you get way more food.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have a dude with an ugly face and a nice body, or a nice face and an ugly body?
I'm gonna have to say a nice face and an ugly body, because I like big boys. So I'll deal with that.
Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, or Richard Bay? Which?
So I actually went to the Jenny Jones show.
Really? You was on it?
No, I actually ditched work to go sit in the audience and got caught.
That was in Chicago, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I'm gonna go ahead and say Jenny Jones.
Jenny Jones. All right, biscuit, Popeyes, KFC, or Cheddar Bay?
Oh.
Which is Red Lobster.
Cheddar Bay. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely.
Jesus.
But they don't taste the same.
Ain't nothing the same no more. All the natural, all the good vibrations is sucked out of everything.
You know you can make them at home.
Yeah, you can. The way you really want to make
They
them.
taste good too.
Man, I really want that bacon bowl, man.
What? You done got yourself all worked up about that bacon, boy. You sliced that bacon
hot.
real good.
I'm hot. I done got myself hot.
You can't even eat it, can you?
Nah, man.
You can't even eat it. I don't know what we're talking about.
I think something bad might happen today, man. With that done.
You better not lose your... So look, here's a tidbit of information. Dieting. Just use moderation. Once you figure out this hump that you finished, use moderation. That's what works. When you're sitting down at a restaurant, take half of your food and box it immediately. They feed us in 2 and 3.
Eat it in the car. As soon as you get in the car.
Smoke that one. Eat it in the car. No.
Hey, man.
Do it in moderation, because you'll have the food for later. And once you get yourself prepared and eating all that food and understanding what your proportions are, you'll always be able to balance your weight.
I feel like I used to have so many ways that I was like undisciplined, and now I done kind of worked them all to like my only vice is really like food, and it feels so good to be undisciplined. Like just to, I told one of my friends, like, man, sometimes it don't even feel like I'm eating. Sometimes I feel like I'm using.
That's how I am with sugar. I'm like that with sugar. I have a sugar addiction, and I not say addiction because it's such a strong word, because that's what it is. And I did a sugar-free diet before. My two biggest vices were potatoes, well, basically starches, and sodas and stuff like that. So I did the sugar-free diet. So starches and breads. After I did 30 days without sugar, my palate could no longer support the starches and the breads.
I bet.
And so now it helps me with my weight because it's not my biggest vice. But sugar, if you give me a soda and I'm just on all water, I resort back, and it takes me almost a year to go back to just drinking water.
Yeah, it's not even worth going back.
It's not worth going back. Sugar's like cocaine. It's almost as addictive as cocaine.
I think it's the first cocaine, man. Sugar. It looked the same. It definitely looked the same.
The same. Hey, whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna end it right there, man. Or just head or smash.
Smash. Don't come over here aggravating me.
Really?
Don't aggravate me. I got to do that.
That's old school too, man. $1,000 of your current relationship. Well, you got a few of them, so.
What you mean? What am I'm choosing between $1,000? Oh, my current relationship. $1,000 ain't shit.
Well, that's all I got for you, man. I appreciate you coming on and talking about what you do. I think we did a very good job of getting it across to everybody too.
I think you had some really great questions. I appreciate you doing your research and just coming up with the proper questions. That's what's up.
Yeah. Because I think this went back to my first question that I texted you, like, so how do you go about
Right.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a whole thing to it. It's really a culture. Yeah. BDSM is a culture. And I love my culture, and I love showing us people in a positive light, and show that we all, are, hood and ghetto and ignorant, and to have the inability to be versatile. And I'm here for it. Like, I'm covered with tattoos, but yeah, I can do a formal black event at any day because I'm that girl.
Hey.
This stuff. I'm giving you this stuff.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm gonna give you, so I do private massages when I'm on the road. And one of the things I do is I make a custom rub for people. I do a massage rub because people have achy bones. I get truck drivers, all kind of stuff. So this right here is it's a hemp infused massage rub, and it also helps with like sore muscles and stuff like that. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure you had this because this is part of my new line of things that I'm actually shipping off now. Because we hustlers, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we got to make sure that we up to par with it. And for this one, this is a body scrub. You can use this on your hands or your body. But this is also, this is infused with rose, but it also has hemp in it so that you can use it for your body. You just get in the shower and use it. It's made by hand.
Oh, it smells good as hell. Hey.
See?
Yeah, man. You should put some bacon in here.
No, I'm not going to put... I'm about to think on that.
No.
Because it's salt.
Yeah.
So it might preserve it for the bacon lovers. We want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. I need a royalty on that.
You know, royalty on that. Go ahead, put that away. Those are for you. Thank you for having me on.
Yes.
But yes, I'm here for the shit.
I appreciate it. I got a shirt for you too, man.
Yay!
Yeah, man, it's the end of another show, man. This is the Type Shit Podcast, man. We talk to entrepreneurs about their entrepreneurial journeys, how they got over it, man. I hope you enjoyed everything today. Make sure you get in touch with her, man, if you want a session. If you just want to find out what it's like. Make sure you also check us out. Instagram, YouTube, Type Shit Podcast, spelled out just like that. TYPESHITPODCAST. I can spell still, man. Yeah, man. This is the spelling portion of the show, man. Make sure you get you one of these shirts, man. I still make these by hand, man, so you're really getting something special. I design them myself, press them myself. So make sure you check that. Pick one of them up, 6centsmedia.com. Until next time, what wisdom I'm going to leave y'all with this week, man. I had something for y'all. God sent me.
Excuses only pacify the person giving them.
Yeah. Oh, it was good too, man. I got it for next week. Man, just get to know yourself better, man. And start on your shadow work, man. Because ain't nobody gonna do it but you, man.